Hi everyone, my name is Oroma MP Reynolds. I am the founder and owner of a special education law firm called MSR Legal and Consulting Services. Welcome to tonight's episode of MSR Legal Oroma, where every Friday night, or hopefully every Friday night, I give a little bit of information about the latest developments in education policy or special education law that impacts parents of children with special needs, whether that's children who have diagnosed medical conditions or disabilities, or perhaps families who are trying to figure that out. This ongoing series, I have a blog as well, and routinely post on social media such as Instagram, trying to raise awareness about the rights that families have to an appropriate education during this pandemic. So what you see on your screen is the homepage for my law firm, MSRlegal.org, www.msrlegal.org. And if you toggle over to this link, Special Needs Parenting and the Coronavirus, you'll see a link to dozens and dozens of blog posts since March 2020, at the start of the pandemic shutdown. So I'm gonna scroll up to the latest blog post, which I posted tonight, and it's about remote options. So if you're in or around New York City, there is a lot of debate about whether the city should still reinstate its virtual option. It's 100% virtual option, which was available. I think most districts offered it during the 2021 school year as schools reopened after the shutdown. So there were some districts that offered the in-person learning, hybrid learning, and a remote option. And so what some districts and private schools are doing is actually doing away, or at least saying that they'll be doing away with that option, because at least as of the spring 2021, it looked like things were getting better with the pandemic. Now I think experts are not so sure. So there is a debate about whether this option should be available, even though there is information that there is a preference for in-person learning, and making those opportunities available and accessible to families in person. So this short blog post just kind of takes a look at both views on the topic. Of course, as the pandemic surges on, and as students, may be mandated to quarantine based on exposure or illness, or children who may not be able to attend school in person safely because of their health or medical conditions. Of course, there should be an option for students that fall into those categories to be able to access learning from home or from a place that's safe for them. But then there's also the question of, what does it look like for in-person learning? For the 2021 school year, in-person learning sort of looked a lot like at-home learning, because it was heavily reliant on laptops and apps, so that all children, no matter whether you were in the cohort that was in person or not, had access to log in at the same time. But we know that a lot of children had difficulty learning in that manner or transitioning from traditional in-person learning, which involves, whiteboards and paper and pencil and worksheets, to a platform that was, largely computer-based and required skills that, children may not have acquired by the time the pandemic hit. So it's just some food for thought as the debate goes on, and I think for special education parents, it's important to know what's going on in your district and what your district's offering, just so you have the heads up, because of course none of us really know or can predict the future, and if our child will fall into that category of requiring at-home learning. So it's really important to get a handle on what your district's offering, and also what the in-person learning platform will be for this school year. So as always, continue to follow us on Instagram, MSR Legal Consulting, on Twitter, MSR Legal Oroma, and of course here on YouTube. Check out my blog periodically, and you can fill out a contact form by clicking on this purple rectangular button on the upper right-hand side. That will lead you to our online contact form, where you can book an initial consultation via email. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. Stay safe.